On this team, we fight for that inch. On this team, we tear ourselves and everyone else around us to pieces for that inch. We claw with our fingernails for that inch. Because we know when we add up all those inches, that's gonna make the fucking difference between winning and losing.
This speech is from the movie Any Given Sunday, and there's a lot that you and I can learn from it as public speakers. So today I'm going to analyze Al Pacino's speech inch by inch, and I'm going to highlight some things which you could potentially use in your presentations, which will make them even more impactful. My name is Kyle Murter. I help people speak with more confidence and impact, so do subscribe to this channel if you want to improve your speaking skills. That being said, let's dive in to this great speech.
I don't know what to say, really. 3 minutes to the biggest battle of our professional lives. All comes down to today. Either we heal as a team, or we're gonna crumble. Inch by inch, play by play, till we're finished. We're in hell right now, gentlemen. Believe me.
So immediately, Al Pacino lays out the scenario. They're in hell right now, and they're about to face the biggest battle of their professional lives. And that opening is attention grabbing because the stakes are high. You can almost feel the tension, and that is set up by the words he used. Another good thing about this opening is it establishes the idea of choice. The team have a choice to make. Either yield as a team or crumble, inch by inch. And that theme is continued throughout, and it is started from the opening.
And we can stay here, get the shit kicked out of us, or we can fight our way back into the light. We can climb out of hell. 1 inch at a time.
So now he's almost directing them towards the option he wants them to take, to yield as a team, to fight back inch by inch. And this is something you should do too when you're presenting the audience with an option. Direct them towards the one you want them to take.
Now, I can't do it for you. I'm too old. I look around, I see these young faces, and I think, I made every wrong choice a middle-aged man can make. I pissed away all my money, believe it or not. I chased off anyone who's ever loved me. And lately, I can't even stand the face I see in the mirror. You know, when you get old in life, things get taken from you. That's part of life.
This is interesting. Al Capone's pointing out his flaws, his consequences of crumbling, of not having the courage to fight back, to fight for that inch. And by sharing this personal story, by opening up to the audience, he connects more with them, but there's also an underlying message of him saying, don't do what I did. You have this opportunity now. Take it. And you can do something similar when talking to an audience by opening up to them, by sharing some of your faults, your misfortunes because of actions you did not take or things you regret doing. You can almost encourage them not to follow your path and to take a better one instead.
You know, when you get old in life, things get taken from you. That's part of life. But you only learn that when you start losing stuff. You find out life's this game of inches. So is football. Because in either game, life or football, the margin for error is so small. I mean, 1/2 a step too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us.
I love two things about this. First, he connects life and football with one sentence. Life's a game of inches, and so's football. And that brings both of those situations together. What he talked about at the start with the team, but also what he shared with his own life there. The second part I love is when he's describing how if you're a 1/2 inch too early, you miss it. If you're a 1/2 inch too late, it's gone. And it's such a relatable metaphor and description for what we all experience at some point. And when you listen to that, you think, yeah, he's right. Yeah, I've experienced that when going for a job interview, or when trying to set a personal best when running, or when trying to cook a cake in the kitchen and I put in too much ingredients when I shouldn't have. We've all been an inch too early or an inch too late. And as a result, we can connect with his words, we connect with him, we're more attentive and we're more likely to take action on his words.
Every break of the game, every minute, every second. On this team, we fight for that inch. On this team, we tear ourselves and everyone else around us to pieces for that inch. We claw with our fingernails for that inch. Because we know when we add up all those inches, that's gonna make the fucking difference between winning and losing. Between living and dying.
So there's a beautiful technique used here called epistrophe. It's when you end the sentence using the same words. And Al Pacino did this 3 times. He said, we fight for that inch. We tear people apart for that inch. We claw for that inch. And the repetition of that phrase creates momentum alongside his enthusiastic delivery in terms of the volume going up, being more animated, being louder, and being faster with his pace. All of that creates more energy, which lifts the room. So if you want to change the feeling in a room, which might be low to high, think about changing your delivery, but also using momentum through language to create a new feeling in the room.
I'll tell you this, in any fight, it's the guy who's willing to die who's gonna win that inch. And I know if I'm gonna have any life anymore, it's because I'm still willing to fight and die for that inch. Because that's what living is. The 6 inches in front of your face.
So not only is this keeping the momentum going, but he's focusing the team on what he wants them to do, to fight for each inch. Because when each of those inches add up, they will have their victory. So beautifully written language there, and it's great that his call to action was woven within that language too. This is something you can do. If there is a particular thing you want the audience to do, you can repeat it throughout your presentation to hammer it home.
Now, I can't make you do it. You gotta look at the guy next to you. Look into his eyes. Now, I think you're gonna see a guy who will go that inch with you. Hell yeah. You're gonna see a guy who will sacrifice himself for this team because he knows when it comes down to it, you're gonna do the same for him. Right? That's a team, gentlemen.
So now he's putting it on the team. He can't do it for them, it's got to be them. And I love how he has that bit of interaction where he gets them to look into each other's eyes and tells them, I think you're going to see a guy who will go that inch for you. That's a great way to create some unity between the ranks of the team there. And by having that interaction, it makes the presentation more engaging, and that's something you can do too. Make it more engaging, get your audience more united by getting them to interact with each other in some way.
That's a team, gentlemen. And either we heal now, as a team, or we will die as individuals.
That is a goosebump line. Now, why is it a goosebump line? Well, because there is contrast within that sentence. There's this option or that option, and they are on polar opposite ends of the scale. Team, individual, prosperity, hope, or death. All combined in probably 10 words or less. So beautifully written there. And the other great thing about that line is it connects us back to the start of the presentation. Remember at the start he gave them a choice? Well, now we're right back to that choice once again. So you can create those goosebump moments by having a contrast in a sentence, and you can also create greater structure for your presentation by linking back at the end to what you said at the start.
That's football, guys. That's all it is. Now, what are you gonna do?
What's fantastic here is he ends with a question. What are you going to do? And that puts it on the players. That puts it on the audience to decide what they are going to do with this information. And this is something you can do too, and it has a powerful effect, because if you have a question at the most impactful moment of an entire speech, which is the end, that question almost lingers in the mind of your audience way after the presentation, as they're driving home, as they're lying down to sleep for bed. That question is more likely to be permeating their mind. So definitely have a think about how you could end your presentation with a question. Speaking of, I'll end this video with a question. What movie speech would you like me to evaluate next? Put your answer in the comments below. See you next time.